As a son of a sub, I sailed into Roselli's on 10th for lunch. Hot Italian meatball, Philly cheesesteak done right. The ultimate subs, they hit every bite. As a son of a sub, Roselli's on 10th, come get you some lunch or dinner from the sea to the shore. Best darn sandwiches you'll ever adore. Roselli's on 10th, the ultimate sub, yeah boy.
Nestled in the heart of historic downtown Wilkesboro, the 1915 offers a wedding experience like no other. Once a federal courthouse and post office, the 1915 combines rich history with timeless charm. From intimate gatherings to full-day rentals, we provide the perfect backdrop for your most cherished moments. With indoor and outdoor options, bridal and groom suites, every detail is crafted just for you. Make your wedding unforgettable at the 1915, Wilkesboro's historic wedding venue, where your story begins.
Join us on a captivating journey as we explore the charm, history, and vibrant culture of Wilkes County. Discover the hidden gems, inspiring stories, and remarkable people that make Wilkes a place worth knowing and celebrating. Join us now as we experience the unique essence of Life in Wilkes.
Well, good morning, Alan, and your mother is here. You told me she was going to come.
Oh, yes.
If she wasn't too busy up there at the Igloo, and I'm awfully glad that you made it with us.
I'm glad to be here.
Good morning.
Good morning to both of you. So, Alan and Kay, and you both have an interesting middle name, because when I saw your name and it says Alan Ashley Call, and then you use Ashley in the middle as well. So we've got lots to talk about, okay? So what we're going to do first is just kind of go back a little bit to the beginning of your family story and that heritage story. Alan, I think I mentioned this to you, I don't know, last year before last.
It's been a while.
It's been a while about telling the story about Harold's. And then we were talking, and you said one day, well, shouldn't Mama be involved too? And I says, well, sure she should.
Yeah,
that would be
boss.
great. That's right. That's absolutely right. So you unfortunately will not, well, that would be fortunate that you weren't involved from the very beginning, because you weren't even born then.
Oh, no.
No.
Mama was born in the beginning.
In the beginning. That's right. So, Kay, let's talk about that. Let's go back in time. For now, for people who don't know, you have the Igloo in Millers Creek, and this is a really big year for you, right? From
Yes,
a celebration
it is.
standpoint. How many years?
Be 50 years in June.
Wow, 50 years.
Yes.
So at what moment in time did you say to yourself, wow, can't hardly believe that?
Well, I can't believe it. And my mama will be so proud, because I promised her before she passed away I would keep it going as long as I could.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So this is a family pledge.
Yes, it is. My daddy was a chicken farmer.
Mm-hmm.
We lived on Holly Mountain Farms. Ed Hediker on the farm at the time in 1945 is when my mother and daddy moved there.
Before we go deeper into that, let's frame who who was the owner of that business and what did they do?
Okay, Mr. Hediker.
Right.
He owned Holly Mountain Farms, which there was always a controversy about Holly Farms and Holly Mountain Farms.
Right.
Mr. Hediker, it was a farm located on 115 Statesville Road, an 80-acre farm. He had layer chickens. It had the fields were covered in what they called pullet houses. They put the chickens out on the house, and it was just covered. It was next to Starlight Drive-In at the time.
Wow.
And
so if you were on a warm night and you're watching a movie, you might hear a few cackles, right?
Well, I was born in 1952. There was a big pond Mr. Hedeker had a big lake down at the bottom, which you could sit on top of one of the chicken houses. I was about 8 years old or 9. My brother, Bobby Ashley, who owned the run-ins and coffee houses, he's passed away now, in the IGAs. We would go sit on top of the chicken houses. I was probably 7 or 8, and we would watch the movies.
So you'd watch the movies
Yes.
from sitting on top of one of those chicken
because
houses.
the sound, we could hear it then, and then they came up with these boxes that they
Right.
put on, and we couldn't hear it anymore.
I could see it from Grandma's house when I was a child in the early 80s. We got on top of her house one time just to see
Yeah.
the movie
Wow,
theater.
and you could see it?
Yeah, the screen.
So-
You
Wow.
couldn't hear it.
When did they shut that screen? Do you remember?
Probably in the later 80s.
Later 80s.
Right.
Yeah. So-
Wow. So from being entertained, sitting on top of a chicken house, watching a movie.
Well-
do you remember one of the movies? What was your favorite that you saw there?
It was a lot of the cowboy movies and
Okay.
stuff like that. This day and time, I don't go to the movies because there's
Right.
nothing on that you like to watch.
Well, it's different. But sitting on the, do you
Yeah.
remember what you were watching sitting on the chicken house?
Roy Rogers and
Right.
Gene Autry.
Right.
Some of the cowboy movies.
That helps us frame the time period too.
and Sky King. I think they had a movie of Sky King on there one time. I always like to watch that.
Yeah.
But anyway, going back to the farm, they were like 24 two-story chicken houses on the farm. We had 12 summer houses, and then all the little houses that was out in the field. And my daddy worked for Mr. Hedeker up until the 1960. It was when 421 started coming through,
Okay.
and Mr. Hedeker, he sold out then.
So his land was where the road is now?
421,
Okay.
Highway 421. They just did it 2-lane at that time. But anyway, Mr. Hedeker, my daddy had worked for him as a supervisor for years. Going back to that, we had a lot of workers on the farm. They were 5 homes on the farm.
So
Each employee, had a place to live.
when did he start that business? Do you remember?
I might mention it in this paper.
Okay,
It was
we'll
in
find
the early 40s.
So the early 40s.
Yes.
So you mentioned something when we first started talking about the controversy with the name.
Yes.
So did they have it first, or how was
Well,
that?
it was always said that Mr. Hedeker pretty much started first. I have no idea. I do remember on it, I was probably 8 or 9. We changed the name to Evergreens for a little while, Evergreen Farms. And they painted everything green. Even the chicken houses were painted green. And they didn't like that. So we went back to Holly Mountain Farms.
The chicken houses were still green when I
Yeah,
was a child.
yeah.
What was left
Right.
of
Yeah,
them.
what was left.
That's
We
where I
don't have
played
any
and-
left. We got one that's on the ground now.
Right. Well, all of that. When did that business close?
Well, my daddy and George Collins, he was president of Northwestern Bank, and Mr. Hedeker and George were pretty good friends at the time. And Mr. Hedeker wanted my daddy to have a part of the farm, so they bought it together. And Mr. Collins, George, we always called it the big house, which was Mr. Hedeker's house.
Right.
It was a huge house on the hill. He moved into it, and we lived in the little white house on the other end of the farm. And about probably 5 years later, this was in 63. Yeah, 63 that they bought it together. And it was probably 4 years later. We built a house on the same end that Mr. Collins was living at, and
A little bit bigger than the one
yeah,
you were
we
in.
had we
was
built a
tiny.
brick
Right.
house,
Right.
nothing big, but anyway, it's across the road from the big house. But all of that's gone now.
Right.
Still on my mother's house, me and a couple of others.
Was that good for your family? That business venture and
It was good up until around 64, 65. Chicken business started going downhill for us. My daddy, it was all layers, and they wanted everything to be up to code. And, the chicken houses were very old, and it was going to cost a lot of money
Sure.
to fix them up. So they decided to go out of the chicken business, and Daddy started a shaving business for a little while.
He was
and
a barber?
This was hauling shavings.
Oh.
Yeah, like for...
Shavings.
yeah,
I found a card last night
Yeah.
that had shavings.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
See, Ashley.
So he was hauling those for the chicken houses?
Chicken houses,
Okay.
yeah, all over
right.
Wilkes County, yeah.
Okay. The pieces are connected.
Yeah.
Right.
And so, anyway, he did that for a little while, and they had cattle on the farm, trying to make a little income.
Sure.
And then in the 70s, around 1970, my daddy started working when they started building the big building for Northwestern Bank over on Oakwoods Road. He was the custodian, or he overseen it as they were building it. Mr. Collins gave him a job there, and he did that for several years. And then him and Mama, my mother, Ruth Ashley, they just started thinking about an ice cream shop.
Just out of nowhere.
Well, my mother and daddy were raised in the Wilbar community,
Okay.
and there was a little ice cream shop in Cricket. We always stopped there on our way to my grandparents', on a Sunday afternoon. I can't remember the name of it, but it was right there at David's Market on the left-hand side as you go up in the little corner. We stopped there all the time, every
Right.
Sunday. Orange pineapple ice cream was my favorite.
That was your favorite.
I sold orange pineapple ice cream up until about 4 or 5 years ago, and they quit making it.
Oh.
And even yesterday, a lady called and she said, "Have you ever got the orange pineapple ice cream back?"
So was it ice cream or was it a sherbet?
It was ice cream.
So it was
Yeah, it
an
has
ice
Yes.
little pineapple chunks.
Yes, it has pineapple in it.
Very good.
Yeah.
Nice.
But anyway, my daddy goes up to Miller's Creek. The property is across from Miller's Creek School. At the time, the school hadn't been built. We didn't know they were going to build one there. And
So you predate the school then,
Yeah.
right? The Igloo does.
yeah,
Yep.
but anyway, some of our family owned the property there, and Daddy talked to him. He had like a used car lot there, and he asked, if we could put a building there. And but going back to it, my daddy, he sat and counted cars going up and down 16 just to see how much traffic. Back in the 70s, traffic wasn't that
Sure.
heavy back up in that area.
That was smart though.
Yeah, but he would go and count cars, through the week to see, how much traffic. But anyway, my brother, Bobby Ashley, go back to the run-ins, coffee houses, he had put a building up in Boone selling ice cream. And it looked like the Igloo.
Okay.
It looks just like an Igloo.
So he was part of the inspiration.
Yeah, he was part of it, and then Daddy and Mama just started talking about it, and so they ordered the building. If I'm not mistaken, the building cost like $5,600. It came in thousands of pieces.
Right.
It took them a long time to put it together. My husband, Harold, he even helped put it together. We got married in 1970, and this was in 76. He even helped put it together. But,
Do you remember that?
yes, I remember putting it together.
You helped with that process.
Well, I didn't help with it, but I'd go up and watch.
Right.
At the time, I didn't start out working for my mother. I worked for the county. I was there for almost 17 years. And 10 years later, Mom and Daddy decided they were going to build the second one. And it was in Wilkesboro, beside Glenn's Tasty Freeze.
Okay.
And it's still standing.
It's still there now, right?
But we don't own it. We sold it in like 2001. My mother got real sick, and I had to take care of her. But anyway, I quit the county, and started helping them.
So that's how you got your practical experience. Right.
I run the Igloo in Millers Creek, and she took care of the one in Wilkesboro because it was closer home, because we all lived on 115.
Now, those igloos, that structure, there was a period that was very popular in America. And I was doing some research, and there's just not that many of them left now anywhere.
Very few.
No.
Yeah.
I seen one in Virginia, I think, and whoa, it looked like it.
My brother put one in Taylorsville also, and it's gone now too. The one in Boone's gone. But when my mother first started out, it was just ice cream for 2 years, and she only had it open, in the summertime. She closed in the winter, and then people started saying, "Well, why don't you put a hot dog, sell a hamburger?"
Right. So
Well,
that's where that came.
She started that for a while. I wasn't there when she started just the hamburger and the hot dog, but she had these Jiffy cookers. Y'all could cook 2 hamburgers at a time.
At the same time, right.
And we had a hot plate, so you put the hot dogs on, boil the water and all, and she made her homemade chili, which is famous for. Me and
Chili.
Alan, we're the
Right.
only ones got the recipe.
Right, the secret recipe.
So
Yes.
grandmother, when I was a child, I can remember her making it at the house. So this is early '80s, but yeah.
So that's
make a
the
lot
chili.
of chili.
Who done the slaw? Whose
So
recipe?
it's actually, her slaw is a little different than mine. So we both basically have 2 different recipes in slaw, but they're basically the same.
Yeah.
But
Which one's better?
mine.
Now, one of your customers told me last night that my hot dogs were better.
Oh, they're just making Mama feel really good. She is the boss.
But anyway,
I think that's important,
Oh, yeah.
but
So let's back up a minute. This is very curious because we have 2 igloo buildings in Wilkes County. Have you ever done research to see, how many other counties even have any, let alone 2?
I don't know.
Oh, we should do that research. Tim. That would be interesting.
well, when we built the second igloo, they couldn't get a building that looked like the one in Millers Creek.
Yeah,
They had
it
quit
looks
making
different.
them, and so they went everywhere trying to find something. And I think this one came out of Boone.
It's just a metal
It's
structure,
just a
and
metal,
they build around
Right.
it.
but
The igloo is very unique.
Yeah,
Really
Yeah.
very-
people that have never been in Wilkes County and come into the building and they stand in the lobby and they knock on the walls, what's this
Right.
made out of?
Right. Right, metal. Right?
Yes.
Well, it was part of that mail order building period, right? Because
Yes.
people could actually order homes through Sears and Roebuck. And,
Mama just gave me last night, looking through things, or the night before, a Sears and Roebuck catalog from
Right.
1937.
oh wow!
Oh, it's very
Right.
interesting.
Fashion was a little different, but you could order homes,
Anything.
all sorts of things.
Anything.
Wow, they were the.
Wagons still in there in 1937.
Can you imagine a time like that now? I mean, there's a simplicity to it that's very appealing. But
Even as a child, we went to J.C. Penney's and had our book, J.C. Penney's book or belt catalog. But now it's just hit the phone,
right, and they're all
anything you want.
Yeah,
The next day or so.
I couldn't get them to go to a store when they were growing up, so I had the catalog, and I'd say, pick out what you want.
And we would circle it. And,
Yeah,
Right.
I'd
And you-
order it and go get it.
Yeah.
So,
That's you're right. It's been modernized, but there certainly was a bit of charm and maybe more anticipation of it
Oh, yeah.
arriving because now we can have it
anything you want at any time.
tomorrow, But then it was a little bit different. So the igloo, it gets built. And talk about those beginning days of were there challenges involved and getting started, or how did that go?
well, it started off good. As it started building up, she put a grill in. My mother installed a grill and a deep fryer. When she was selling just the hot dog and the hamburger, she would sell chips. And so they just started with the grill, and then it just kept growing and growing. The menu just kept growing. And
do you know back then what sold the most? Was it the ice cream or the hot
well,
dogs?
the ice cream sold a whole lot better back then than it does this day and time, because they have all the flavors in the grocery stores and all now. But our hot dogs is the best seller now.
By far.
By far. But she sold a lot of ice cream back then. But then when the hot dogs started, that's where it began.
What about milkshakes?
Milkshakes, we sell a lot of milkshakes.
Because you have your hot dog and your milkshake, your ice cream, and you can drink it, so that's good.
Yeah.
I didn't ask Miss Green about how many milkshakes.
She's one of my hot dog lovers.
Oh, she sure is. I remember writing that article. She saw me out somewhere and said, "Hey, Carl."
Well,
did you have to do that? I was like, well, it was. She gave me all the information. I was just, taking notes like I was talking to a lot of people at the Igloo and getting some stories, and she was willing to talk, and she said she'd come often, and I said, well, how often? 2 or 3 times a week. And I said, how many hot dogs do you usually just get one? And milkshake. We talked about all that, and then as the story goes, I came back at my desk and I wrote the story, and as a comment, it was syndicated in several papers across the and she saw me out, and she said, hey, I was like, look, all I did was simple math. You did the hard work.
We did make our state magazine at one time.
Oh,
I think it was around 2011, but we were doing breakfast then, and one of my customers, he always ordered a double bacon and egg sandwich on toast. That was his favorite sandwich, and he wrote, or somehow or another connected with our state magazine, and the article was wrote in there, and they had a picture of the sandwich and all.
So how did that affect the business? Do you remember?
People came. People came and wanted a double bacon egg sandwich.
Right.
And we'd always say, well, our hot dog's more famous.
Right.
So, but...
we'll talk about that since we're talking about exposure. Over the years, did you make the paper a lot? Did you get a lot of exposure?
Oh, yes. Well, Wilkes Journal Patriot used to have the contest, best sandwiches.
Okay.
I won, well, he also won too, but best hot dogs in Wilkes County. I won that 2 different times.
2 different times,
yeah,
okay.
They had it.
Nice.
So,
that's always exciting, isn't it?
I did have a gentleman who was in there just this past week. I think he said he came from Lexington. He said it'd been like the second time he'd been to the Igloo. And he said, I just wanted to come back in and tell you how much I enjoyed my hot dog. He said it was just as good as it was a year ago when I was here. And he said, there's nothing like little small places like this. He said, I'll drive miles just to
I've got
go
a
to
couple
small.
that come to Harold's, and they come at least twice a week, and they come from Mooresville. So they went on a search for a hot dog, and this has been 5 years ago, and they found it where they wasn't expecting it, and that was at Harold's. So
at Harold's, right.
They drive at least 2 times a week to come get a hot dog.
Wow. And that's an hour, hour and 15 minutes?
They live right around Burkdale Village,
okay.
they told me. So,
right.
But they come at least twice a week to get a hot dog.
Well, I'm quite confident there's not a Harold's in Burkdale.
No.
I'm sure there's not one of those there. Well, that's exciting. So over the years, you have enjoyed some community celebrity.
Oh, yes.
And now you have people that will drive long distances. Yeah. What does that mean to you when somebody comes up and tells you, I was here last year and I come back just because, or they come a couple of times a week because they had discovered something and they come back for that same thing.
That's why we're here. It's very humbling, and that's the reward of a restaurant business. And that's what you work
Very
for.
blessed.
Yeah. What would your dad say about that?
Oh, my dad was the number one nicest man on the planet. So Dad loved everybody. He tried to treat, and that's the way I do, try to treat everybody the same. And so, like Dad, as a child, you'd be going down the road. I'm like, Dad, who's that? I don't know. And he's waving at everybody. So
Right.
I do that
Right.
myself now.
Right.
So
That's a good habit, though.
it is.
Yeah, it helps
is.
brings about smiles.
My mother and daddy, most amazing parents that could ever be. I mean, we wasn't rich growing up, but my mother and daddy made sure that we had what we wanted. And I'm very blessed. I had two of the best brothers. They're both gone now, Bob and Mike. Mike's been gone 6 months now, but they were amazing brothers. And we were a loving family. My mother and daddy, I mean, it was all about family. We had Sunday dinners. That's another thing. My mother, she was open 7 days a week. When we opened Wilkesboro, it was 7 days a week. We were open on Sundays. And
I remember those days.
yeah,
So
and I worked for the county, and
It's hard.
back then it was 8-hour job, 5 days a week. It wasn't weekends. I had a Saturday and Sundays off. When I started helping her, it was 7 days a week.
Then you didn't have the
14-hour
Saturday.
days.
Right.
I mean, people didn't show up for work. Got my first ticket going to the Igloo on a Sunday.
How fast were you driving?
I was going about 10 miles over. It was on 16, which I knowed better. But anyway, the girl called out at the last minute. It was race day.
Oh, my.
We always got a lot on race day, and I was in a hurry. But anyway,
Mama thought she was Dale Earnhardt, I guess.
But anyway,
Start your engine.
I had to get there to open up. But we stayed open on Sundays.
Wait
probably.
a minute. It's because you're in Miller's Creek, and you say race day.
Yeah.
So at the track, right?
Yeah.
People coming out of the mountains.
So okay, so it would be people coming down.
Oh, yeah.
And they was okay.
Well,
all right.
They went back up, but
Right.
Sundays was always a really good day for us, which we had a preacher in the community didn't like us being open on Sundays. I mean, how many people goes out to eat on Sundays? Now,
Right.
this is in the late 80s because
Right.
I started in 86.
Early 90s, probably.
Yeah, early 90s.
Quit and
He
Sundays.
always, made remarks because one of his people that came to church there was one of my employees. And, she had to work on Sundays just like the rest of us sometimes. But anyway, I didn't like working on Sundays either, but it was
It was a busy business
Yes.
day. People were hungry on
And-
At that
Sunday.
point in our business or her business, that's how you had to survive.
Yeah,
Right.
right. You
At
had
this
to.
point in our business, we can not open on Sunday.
Right. But when you're building it and you need more money to do more things
Exactly.
with because it's growing, the families are growing,
Yeah.
that's where you needed more.
But see, we had the two locations then, Wilkesboro and Millers Creek, and the way we would do our schedule, we would try to rotate working every other Sunday, and it got to the point I was working every Sunday because I'd have to go to Wilkesboro to work. I was back and forth. So Mama made the decision that if we couldn't make it on 6 days, couldn't make it at all. So we started closing on Sundays.
And we're more blessed than
and
ever.
we're blessed than ever.
Oh, sure. So,
I mean, we make it up through the week.
And
so,
now I'm down to 5 days a week.
yeah.
5 days a week. And if
And
something
11 to
comes
7.
up, you could
Yeah.
move that sign over. in front of
That's
your
what I do a
door.
lot now. So
Right.
I had some medical issues, 3 or 4 years ago
Yeah.
with my legs and stuff, and had to have a few surgeries. And if I'm not there, we don't open. So now I can just pretty much
Right.
do what I have to do.
And
I don't
everybody-
like to.
But everybody understands,
Exactly.
don't
Mhm.
They
But
do.
now I'm just open. I'm closed on Sundays and Mondays.
they? Okay.
After COVID, when we went back after COVID, people didn't want to work. They wanted another day off, so I started closing on Sundays and Mondays.
Is it just as good?
It's just as good. I'm
So,
blessed.
Yeah, you have a little more time.
Winter time's a little bad,
Right.
but I make it.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah, we survive. And in a restaurant, people think what they think, but if you're surviving, you're successful.
That's right.
In a restaurant.
I mean, if we look at the success rate of a new restaurant, it's extremely low.
3 or 4%
Yeah,
out of
it's really tough. So
to
to
make it.
have something with a legacy, and you've certainly gone beyond. You've been in it for a while.
Yeah.
It's a legacy business now because you've got 1, 2, 3 generations, right, involved now. Wow. So that's how the Igloo got started. Let's talk a little bit more, and then we'll wrap this show. Then we've got to come back for another show. But let's talk about Harold's and how that transition happened there. I mean, how you became involved.
Okay, so in 93, my father was a bread man. He worked for Kern's Bakery. So as a child, I even had a kitchen set. Mama, you had to go get me one, didn't you?
Yeah. In
6,
fact, my
7-year-old.
mother and daddy once went to get it. He'd already gave me his Christmas list, which he'd already got.
Was it out of the
And it-
book? Was it out of the?
It was
CD?
out of the
Yeah,
catalog.
it was at
Yeah.
JCPenney. Yeah.
Yeah,
And I had it circled.
so Mom and Daddy were in Winston for something, and it was like 2 days before Christmas, and they picked him up a kitchen set.
kitchen set.
Kitchen set.
So
He
one of the
played-
small ones.
Yeah, well, it's big. It's about the size
Right,
of this
right.
table. Yeah.
Had a
Right.
stove.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and it
Everything
worked.
in it. Oh yeah.
It physically worked.
Well, sorta.
Yeah.
Not for long after
You
I got a
wasn't,
hold of it.
but 2.
Yeah, I was
3,
young.
2 years
Right,
old.
Young.
I mean, he cried. That's what I want. And I mean,
I
this
played
is
with it for
2
years.
days before Christmas.
Had you seen your dad do it? I mean, what was it? That,
No, I just wanted a kitchen set for some reason. But going back to how Daddy acquired Harold's, in 93, he was a bread man. So Kern's Bakery, it was pretty much about to go out of business, wasn't it? So Dad knew he was going to have to shift into something different. So Harold and Opal Blankenship had Harold's restaurant at that time, and they had run it, we're thinking 5 or 6 years before Daddy acquired it.
So it was Harold's before it's Harold's now?
Before it was Harold's now.
Right.
Okay. So I can remember I'm around 12, 13 years old, but going into Harold's and sitting down and meeting with Harold Blankenship and Opal, trying to make the deal out. So Daddy has to get his loan, and, he had
Right.
some upfront money. And I remember them making the deal, and I'm excited. I'm going to get to
How
work in a
old are you
restaurant.
then?
I'm 13. So
Okay.
I started when I was 13 years
Right.
old. And I can remember the excitement at that time of, oh boy, this is what we're going to be doing. And it was fun for a while. And I still enjoy
Yes.
my job. I enjoy the people. And the things have shifted over the years. At times, with any other job, you not quite enjoy it as much at times.
Right.
You
When
get burned out.
You get
when
burnt out.
And
Sure.
that's what I've done now. So I was working at least 100 hours a week, even from
At least.
probably a little over. So you get up. We opened at 3 o'clock at that time
In the morning?
in the morning, and you would get home at 9 o'clock. So you do that over and over and over, and we was open on Saturdays at that time. And eventually it gets burnt out.
You were working with your dad at that time.
Yes,
though, right?
so I had dad, and he would go mornings when something bad happened at that time, and then I would be there at 8, 9, 10 o'clock usually, and he actually checked me out of school at 13-year-old. So he would come get me at 11 o'clock when I was 13 on up until I graduated high school and bring me to work.
Family business to take care of.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Do you remember that time when, I mean, you already had the igloo at that time, right?
So we had 2 igloos.
Yes,
two igloos. So you already got 2 igloos, 2 restaurants in the family, and now adding a third. What was that conversation like at home?
I begged him not to do it because
Please don't do it.
I said, you don't understand how much work it is.
No, Mama was fighting with him. I can remember that, and I'm like, Daddy, do it. And she's like, no.
Yeah.
My daddy passed away in 91, and at the time, Daddy went over to Harold and Opal's, Harold's restaurant then, and he liked their coconut pie. I remember when Daddy passed away, Opal came to the door with a coconut pie. But anyway, he started talking to him about buying it then, the restaurant.
Your Harold?
My
Chancey.
daddy.
Your
Chancey.
dad? Oh, your dad. Okay.
My daddy, Chancey. He started talking to him this like in 90 or 91, and Mama told him, absolutely not. 2 is enough.
Right.
Well, Harold Blankenship started on my husband, Harold, because he was the bread man. He said, y'all should buy it. Y'all should buy it. And I kept saying, no, we don't. We don't want it. And we ended up with it.
And you ended up with it. Wow.
And working with my mother and father, that's the most blessing ever. Now, me and my father, we would have our arguments because you're working with somebody completely all day long, 40, 50, 60 hours a week with your father, probably more at times, probably 70, 80, well, no, 24/7. Because with them, at that time, I would go home with him. So 24/7, you're with your father. So
you got to know each other really well.
Really well.
Yeah,
Right.
And
that's the best part of it.
Now that I'm older, I don't move as fast as I can, so he, pushes me on.
She's still the boss of me.
He pushes
Mommy
me.
is always boss.
Yeah. All right. Guys, this has been wonderful. This is part 1. This is a perfect place to wrap for this part of the story. And next time we're going to talk about some of those pushings, some of the things that makes this a special thing for you even now, going into celebrating 50 years. And when I was doing research, I was looking at Harold's and how long it went back. It has a long history as well, doesn't it?
33 years this year for me.
Yeah. We'll talk more about that next time. Thank you so much for being here, Kay. Alan, it's great to see you. Great. Thank you for sharing your story.
Thank you.
I know our viewers are going to love
you.
this one.
Thank you for spending time with us on Life in Wilkes. We value you as a viewer and appreciate when you share the show with your friends and family. Be sure to bookmark our channel and join us again on the next episode of Life in Wilkes.